Hi there, my name's Jenny Karubian, and I'm the owner and founder of Ready to Launch Research. Today I'm recording this vlog to discuss some of the major issues that colleges and universities in the US are facing today, and how many of them are using market research to help alleviate some of the concerns that they have and ultimately boost enrollment. So very quickly, a little bit about me. I'm an educational specialist. I used to be a professor before I founded this agency. And during the years I've had this agency, I've helped educational institutions at all levels, from pre-K all the way through graduate school, professional school, veterinary school, and trade school, to help boost enrollment. We do that in a variety of different ways. Sometimes we're understanding the needs of the community. Sometimes we're talking to students and measuring their needs. Other times we speak to would-be applicants to understand what they're looking for. Sometimes we test marketing materials. It really varies a lot. It varies project to project, but all of these schools have really benefited from doing market research because they walk away with a good marketing strategy to know what to do next and to really help them survive in a very rapidly changing climate. So I'm going to start with a couple of facts about some of the declining enrollment in the United States. Number one, student interest in college education has dropped drastically. Gen Z and Gen Alpha have less interest in enrolling in college because of worries about getting saddled with student loan debt. So there's been a decline in their enrollment. There's also a lower population around that generation because of the last financial crisis. There's just fewer students and the same amount of universities who are still open to admit these fewer students. Today, in 2025, there's been a rapid decline in international students as well as immigrant students. And universities really rely on those numbers to keep their populations where they need to be. And as a result, a variety of universities that have branch campuses are actually closing some of their locations. Most notably, Penn State is closing 7 of their branch campuses because of lowered enrollment numbers. So thinking about the issue, there's been a number of things that have led to decreased enrollment. One is a lack of interest among younger people, especially those who may not be in a financial position to take student loans, and they aren't necessarily seeing the value in college education because they think that there may be some other career paths. So the idea of going straight from high school to college has been a little bit disrupted, especially with the generation of students who graduated or came of age during the pandemic. Secondly, there's been a lot of budget gaps. There's been closures. There's been some funding issues. There's been issues with research dollars that the universities rely on to stay open. Some of those research dollars haven't been fulfilled. And so that's been creating a lot of budget issues for universities. Additionally, there's been some issues around retention and summer melt. Summer melt is a well-documented issue where students, especially those from who are maybe the first generation in their family to go to college, a lot of them will get accepted to school, accept the enrollment, and then between high school graduation and the fall, something happens and they end up not enrolling. And they call that summer melt. And there's a variety of factors that lead to that, but ultimately it ends up with enrollment declines. Some of the ways that we've helped our clients is by doing demographic reports and competitive analysis, where we can look at all of the competing institutions as well as what are their points of differentiation, what are their tuition costs, what are their fees costs, and look at that for a given area so that the universities can understand how to position themselves kind of in opposition to or in a different way, in a differentiated way from their competitors. Another thing that we do very often is we do focus groups, and we often do focus groups with families who are thinking about enrolling at a school. We'll talk to people who are seniors in high school who are hopeful about getting into college, and we'll talk to them about what it is that they're looking for in terms of a college or university so that the college and university can message around those needs. Another thing that we do is creative testing. So sometimes we'll look at advertising, we'll look at different marketing assets and look to see what resonates with students the best. past. We will speak with students throughout the community. So maybe we'll talk to students who go to a local community college in that area to understand how does this university kind of speak to the transfer student population who universities are increasingly relying on because students are going that route to save money on college tuition. We can also do surveys. We do social listening where we can look up how a university is coming up in terms of social discourse around the university. So we will look at how people are talking about it online, and we can sweep the internet. We can look at everything from Quora and Reddit to Instagram comments to Discord comments. We can look across the internet and look at how a university is coming up in those comments to understand what's the social discourse around that university. So we can do a variety of different strategies to help your college or university really boost enrollment. And if this is something that you're interested in doing, go ahead and reach out to us and schedule a call. And we can talk to you about how to better boost enrollment at your college or university. Thanks.